$1.5 million if he signs it, and no one can talk to him. So Dallas is playing hardball with him. Derrick Henry got the franchise tag, even though Tannehill got paid, 6 years, $114 million? And a lot of it's guaranteed. I would be sick. If I'm Henry, you might just have to rob, Tannehill. You're like, yo, you're paying for everything. If I want like 3,000, if I want the whole team tested for the coronavirus, you got to pay for all of it, Tannehill. Because Tannehill literally is not the reason they made it. And to not give Derrick Henry that money, that's a slap in the face. So also, Kenyon Drake got a non-exclusive franchise tag from the Cardinals. It's interesting to have him in that offense with DeAndre Hopkins if that trade goes through. AJ Green got franchise tagged by the Bengals, but Dupree got franchised by the Steelers. Yannick Ngakoue has no intention of playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars, but they franchised him anyway. That was really weird and stupid. Leonard Williams got franchise tagged by the Giants. Anthony Harris got franchise tagged by the Vikings, and Mathew Judon got franchise tagged by the Ravens, which leads me to my next point. I think the Ravens and the Chargers have been killing it. Like, the fact that the Ravens got Calais Campbell smooth for, a fifth-round pick to shore up their defensive line. They signed Michael Brockers. Yeah. They also...
Yeah, I like what the Ravens did a lot.
And then
I'm a big Brockers fan.
They gave up Hayden Hurst to the Falcons for, I think, a fourth-round pick.
For a second-round pick.
Second-round pick. They sent a fourth-round pick and got a second-round pick back from the Falcons because Austin Hooper went to the Browns. David and Jokic probably heated.
Cam Newton getting traded for a sixth-round pick, and Hayden Hurst got traded for a second-round pick. Good Lord.
And Hayden Hurst was a first-round pick. The Ravens tight end that they kept, I think it's Mark Edwards. He was like a third-round pick. So it's
he was like 1 or 2 rounds after, and he ended up being better.
Yeah, and I
always kept getting them confused too because they're both white and in the same draft class in the same team.
One's faster though.
And Edwards, we all know I'm bad with things.
Edwards was a wide receiver in high school and ran a 4.58. Hurst had the yips in college as a baseball pitcher and became a tight end. I still don't think he should have been a first-round pick. That was a waste. But the Ravens usually don't miss. So, I mean, you got people in that organization talk about dynasty.
No, the Ravens miss.
They always miss a receiver, but they usually don't miss anywhere else.
They just make up for it at late. They just make up for it with late round picks.
Yeah.
So it seems like they don't miss.
That's true.
Because they're late right now to develop. Kind of like Seattle, too. Seattle's kind of like that as well.
Yeah. It's crazy, though. Like, they set themselves up to have a great defense, and all they got to do is they're probably going to draft 2 linebackers. That's what, if I were them, I would just draft Kenneth Murray or Patrick Queen. Whoever falls to you, boom. You got a middle linebacker in the middle of your defense. They can get edge rushers. That's clearly not an issue. But the fact that they got Michael Brockers, I think they re-signed. They re-signed Jelly, former Oakland Raider. They re-signed him, Justin Ellis, and now they have Calais Campbell on one side, Brockers on the other. That's a pretty stout 3-man defensive line. And then the Chargers getting Casey Hayward, not Casey Hayward, Chris Harris Jr. Honestly, I'm just scarred from really good cornerbacks shunning the Oakland Raiders and going to San Diego. I'm still not over Casey Hayward.
I like what the Chargers did a lot, though, too, man. Honestly, between getting Balaga, I think they were rumored to get Sue. I don't know if that was official, but they got some veteran guys. They just really got to figure out the QB situation. I mean,
I say they go left tackle.
Roddy's serviceable, and assuming they take one, at the top of the draft, but
I don't think
I don't know, man. For me, I would still kick the tires on Cam Newton if I was them. It just, to me, it makes too much sense from a marketing perspective, from just what you're looking for in a quarterback, a big body who can throw deep and also give you a little bit of running threat, especially down the red zone. So, I don't know. I mean, Cam Newton's the way I would have gone.
Cam got a swagger.
Chargers are not conventional.
Cam got a swagger, but you also got to look at it as, okay, he's healthy, and You put him in that offense. Either Tyrod or Cam's going to play. Either way, it's like, well, you might as well just keep Tyrod and just get somebody behind him. Or you get Tyrod knowing you're going to draft Justin Herbert. Because my thing is, if I'm the Chargers, like the Chargers have set themselves up to have great options now. They can either draft a quarterback or draft a left tackle. Or if Isaiah Simmons falls or Jeffrey Okudah. Like, they've set themselves up perfectly. Because they got corners now. Their linebackers are pretty much set. They got Trey Turner to give up Russell Okung, who's near the end of his career anyway. And now you could start all over with a young franchise left tackle. It's like, if your offensive line automatically gets better, it doesn't really matter who's at quarterback at that point. So, I give the Chargers an A+. The Bills did a really good job, too.
Yeah, the Bills made some sneaky moves.
That trade with Stephon Diggs.
I think not paying Shaq Lawson $10 million is a win.
Yep, they paid Mario Addison.
I don't know why the Dolphins paid him $10 million, but
he's younger.
Hey, I'm not the Dolphins.
That's true. But they also they paid Mario Addison, the former Panthers edge rusher, 3 years, $30.45 million, $15 million guaranteed. And then they got a Vernon Butler.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was like, your life was kind of loud in the background, fam.
Sorry. I'm at the liquor store. My bad.
It's all right. But yeah, they also got Josh Norman on a 1 year, $6 million contract.
Yeah, man. Josh Norman's been washed to me, so
to only get him for $6 million is pretty fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they got nothing to lose. I'd rather have him than Eli Apple for sure.
Yeah. Shout out to the Bears though. They got Nick Foles out of Jacksonville, so Trubisky's probably going to lose his job. They got Jimmy Graham, 2 years, $16 million. Yeah. Then they got Robert Quinn, and who can actually rush the passer.
Our boy Malik Obi was like, "Why did the Bears sign Jimmy Graham? They literally have 10 tight ends on the roster."
They really do.
I went to our labs, and there's literally 10 tight ends on their roster.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Literally 10.
Fun fact, I'm on the Bears practice squad as a backup tight end / long snapper. They're like...
Okay, Kenny Kondo.
That's fine. Shit,
okay, Kenny Kondo.
That's fine. Fine by me. Kenny Denny. Pick a long snapper. I'll take that last name. But yeah, they got Danny. They re-signed Danny Trevathan too. Cleveland is interesting. Because Cleveland put a second-round tender on Kareem Hunt. They signed Carl Joseph, your boy. He's definitely not my boy. He's definitely your boy. They signed Austin Hooper to making him the highest-paid tight end in the NFL, which is crazy, but whatever. I'm not going to hate. They signed away Jack Conklin, the Titans' right tackle, who he could probably play left tackle for Cleveland at this point. And then they signed Andrew Billings, D-tackle, the superhuman D-tackle out of Baylor, who he had to stop lifting weights because he was too freakishly strong, and still somehow runs a 4.8 40. I don't understand it, but they got some help. But what about your boy Amari Cooper? How you feeling about that? Hello?
Yeah, my bad. I ran into one of my teammates right now at the liquor store. My bad. What were you saying, Amari Cooper?
Yeah. Amari Cooper, he signed on 5 years, $100 million, $60 million guaranteed, $40 million at signing, $20 million for injury. If it becomes fully guaranteed on the 5th day of 2022. And he actually took less money because he got offered more money by the Redskins.
Yeah, man, why not? I mean, what else are the Cowboys really going to do? But what was that with the Texans giving Wando Cabo that money? That was too much.
Yeah, I don't understand.
$9 million a season?
Yeah, he got
31?
Yeah, I don't understand it.
But hey, I guess an annual, prove-it deal works, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Gerald McCoy. He got a bag from the Cowboys. 3 years, $18.3 million. It could get up to $20 million. And then, Desmond Trufant got cut by the Falcons to get signed. I wish the Raiders would have just waited and signed Desmond Trufant instead of Eli Apple. It's around the same amount of money. And then the Green Bay Packers pretty much swapped linemen. Like Rick Wagner got cut by the Lions and went to the Packers. And Bulaga left and was going to sign with the Lions, but ended up signing with the Chargers. But the real shit show I want to talk about, let's just go ahead and talk about it, is what the hell is up with the Houston Texans? Like, I need to know. Why are they so stupid? Pete, have you been overtaken by the coronavirus? I need to know. Pete? Oh, well, guess he hung up. All right. I'm going to explain this whole Houston Texans situation. Now, you're going to hear a lot of allegedlys and potentiallys, but here's what happened. Here's what's being reported. So, Michael Irvin had a conversation with DeAndre Hopkins after this trade broke, and DeAndre Hopkins pretty much told him that he had a meeting with Bill O'Brien, the head coach and general manager of the Houston Texans, and Bill O'Brien just didn't like the fact that Hopkins had so much influence on the team. He said the last time that he had to talk with somebody in a meeting like this was Aaron Hernandez, and we know how that situation played out. He didn't like that DeAndre Hopkins had so many baby moms up at the facility. He didn't like his lifestyle, even though DeAndre Hopkins has never been in trouble in the NFL. Like, never, not even once, not even one time, not ever at all. And is like the second leading receiver in franchise history for the Houston Texans, behind only Andre Johnson. Pretty much, just the meeting just deteriorated from there. But then he goes on Twitter. DeAndre Hopkins goes on Twitter and says, "You guys are overblowing this meeting. This, that, and the third." He never denied any of the things that were allegedly said in meeting that were reported. So who knows? All I know is you don't trade one of the best receivers in football. You don't put him in a 4th-round pick on a plane to Arizona to get back David Johnson, who was an All-Pro 2 years ago, but has been injured and mangled behind such a bad Arizona offensive line. You only get a 4th-round pick back. You traded a top-flight talent, one of the best receivers in the league, top 5, top 3, honestly, and he ain't 3. Depending on who you talk to, you trade him. And what do you get back? A 4th-round pick and an injured running back. You just cut Carlos Hyde, who had 1,000 yards, and Lamar Miller, who's injured. You would have been better off just keeping them. Or now that Todd Gurley's a free agent, you could have just waited. But Bill O'Brien, people have said he's been unprofessional before, and this isn't the first time he's done something unprofessional and unbecoming of a head coach. He was cussing out a fan early in the season, and you know who had to pull him off out of the fan's face? DeAndre Hopkins. He said wild stuff and did really dumb stuff and really offensive stuff at Penn State, and eventually got up out of there, but people were feeling the way about him at Penn State too. Yet somehow, because Houston's been a shit show, and I guess he's carrying on the ghost of their past racist owner, the inmates can't run the asylum, apparently. You want to sit up here and do a team leader who everyone respected like that? Oh, and your starting quarterback's best weapon? Which clearly lets me know you don't want to win games. You don't care about winning. You care about only massaging your ego. And this is the type of thing that should make sure he gets blackballed from coaching in the NFL and fired and never be allowed to coach again. But he's white, so he'll get an infinite number of chances. But hey, at least Kyler Murray is winning, and this makes... Shout out to Steve Keim, because that's a sucker's born every day. And Bill O'Brien feels like he was probably born 2 minutes ago, the way that deal went down. The fact that All they got to do is pass physicals. David Johnson is a great back. He's a